Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in. So I'm just gonna pin back my hair, get it out of the way. So if you can't already tell by the title of this video, this is going to be a full face minus 4 products of Makeup Revolution products. These can be found at Ulta. That's where I purchased all of my products that I'm going to be testing today. Like I said, there's about 4 products that I didn't purchase. They either didn't have the color that I needed, or they didn't have a color that I would actually wear. So I'm just going to be using some of my other affordable makeup products that I didn't purchase, because Makeup Revolution is very, very affordable. I would definitely put it in the drugstore category. So I've actually tried a few products from Makeup Revolution before. I have tried their concealers, so I'm bringing their concealers back into this video. So that's what we're going to do. So to conceal and to prime my eyelids, I'm going to be taking the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. This is in the shade C1. So I do like this concealer as a primer. I think it does the job. It does cover pretty well. I would definitely consider it a full coverage concealer. To set that, I'm going to be taking my Maybelline Fit Me. This is one of the products that they didn't have the shade that I wanted. This is one of my favorite powders to use. Okay, so for eyeshadow, I'm super excited about this. So they had a good amount of eyeshadow palettes to choose from. Their eyeshadow palettes, they have some eyeshadow palettes for $7 and it comes with a good amount of shades, and then they have some palettes that are more like 15 to 20. The one that I got was 15. This is the Makeup Revolution London in Decadent. I hope I'm saying that right. But that says Decadent, I think. But anyway, this palette is gorgeous. Usually at Ulta, they have like the tester palettes that you can look at and see the colors and just the different shades. They didn't have one of this one, so I had to look online to get a better look at what the palette was. And when I saw this one, I fell immediately in love with it. First of all, it's got a big mirror, which is a plus. I am all about palettes that have mirrors, especially big ones. But anyway, look how pretty this palette is. You've got your taupey browns, your matte shades, you've got your orangey red shades, the darker browns, some shimmery shades. I love this palette and I'm super excited to dig into it. I have no idea what kind of look I'm going to even go for today. I'm going to take Sahara down here, and this is what I'm going to put into my crease. And I've never used a Revolution palette before, so I don't know how well it performs. So that's what we're gonna put to the test. I feel like it's a good amount of pigment. It's definitely buildable for sure. Okay, so next I'm going to be taking, they have some interesting names with some of these eyeshadows, so I'm probably going to say them completely wrong, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to be taking this shade up in the topper left of the palette. It's called Affluent. So that's what I'm going to be taking. I'm going to be focusing this more in my outer part of my eye, my outer corner. Next, I'm going to be taking this really pretty orange shade called Sundown, and this I'm going to mainly focus like on the top of my crease, like more in the middle. Next, I'm going to be taking this shimmery shade called Glimmer. This I'm just going to be popping on my eyelid, and I'm just taking my ring finger like normal. And I'm just going to press it on to my lid. So I'm going to just deepen and darken up the look just a little bit, and I'm going to be taking a dark brown shade. I'm going to be taking this shade called Fortuity, but I'm going to focus this in my outer corner and outer part of my lid. Next, I'm going to just take a transition shade just to blend everything in to make sure everything is good. So I'm gonna go back in with Sahara, and I'm just going to make sure everything's blended. I really like this palette. Formula is awesome. It's super good pigment. I really like it. We will be digging back into this later to go under the eyes, but we will do that after I've got my full face on. So for mascara, that's another thing that I didn't pick up, but I'm going to be using the Tarte Maneater mascara and put a couple coats on my top lashes. Okay, now that mascara is done, we're going to jump into primer. So the primer that I picked up is the Pore Blur and Prime primer. So this is what the packaging looks like. Done a little squeezy. All right, so you do need to shake it a little bit. That's what it looks like. There's no smell. It's got an interesting feel to it. Like, I don't even know how to describe what it feels like. Like the last two primers that I've tried, they felt like a lotion. Like I could easily tell what they felt like putting on. But this, I don't know what it feels like. I don't know if it feels more like of a putty or, I don't know. There's just a different consistency of it. But there's no smell. Feels nice on my face. All right, this is what I'm excited for. I'm kind of nervous because I've never used a stick foundation in my life. So we're going to put it to the test. This is the Makeup Revolution London Stick Foundation. I got the shade F2. So this was $9. I just want to see how much. Okay, so that's how much you get. And I don't know if a little goes a long way. I don't know if you need a lot. So I might need more, but we're just gonna. Alright, so just the little bit that I used, I didn't use a ton. I feel like it didn't do much, in my opinion. So I don't know if I need to just use a lot to even get some kind of coverage. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna try using my sponge, seeing if that helps. I feel like, I don't know if it's because it is in stick form, but it doesn't, I don't know, I feel like the foundation doesn't move. Like it's not, like as in liquid foundation, it's easy to move around the face, but with this, I don't know. It's definitely interesting. I've never used a stick foundation before. There's definitely some coverage to it. It's not high coverage. So I guess if you really want this foundation to work, you need to work in sections. I don't know, it's definitely interesting. Like I said, I've never used a stick foundation. I didn't know what to expect. Okay, so overall, I'm gonna give the foundation a thumbs down. It's not my favorite. It didn't really cover as much as I was hoping it would. So in my opinion, this is not a full coverage foundation on my skin. Maybe if you didn't have as much acne as I do, it might work for you. I feel like it was kind of hard to maneuver. Like it's like it didn't budge. Like it was definitely easier with the sponge than a brush to apply, because I felt like the sponge actually moved it around a little bit more than a brush did. But I mean, on my areas that I don't have acne, it doesn't look terrible. It definitely was not my favorite foundation I've ever used. So that is a product I am definitely will not be repurchasing. But I am glad that I tried it. I do want to try as many drugstore foundations as possible just to see what works with my skin. So next I'm going to be taking my Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer, but in shade C4 to conceal, and then I will go back in with the C1 to highlight under my eyes. Okay, so I really like the concealer. I feel like it covered up pretty well. This spot isn't as concealed as I would like it to be. I can see if I can go over it one more time just to see if I can conceal it just a little bit more. Alright, so now I'm going to jump in back into the C1 to put under my eyes. So I'm going to jump back into the Maybelline Fit Me just to set my under eyes and then to set my whole face. I'm going to be putting kind of extra amount of powder under my eyes just because in the past when I've used this concealer under my eyes, it creases pretty bad on me. More than I would like it to. Okay, so for bronzer, I picked up the Mega Bronzer in 01 Cool. They did have two shades when I was there, and they had a warm shade and then the cool shade, and I picked the cool shade. So I'm just gonna take some. It's a very pretty bronzer. I really like it a lot. It is pigmented too, so it's not like you need a ton. Okay, so for blush, this is another product that I didn't pick up, so I'm using my Milani Baked Blush in Lumineso. Okay, so for highlighter, I've mentioned this highlighter before. Well, not this one. They've changed up their highlighter since the last time that I purchased a highlighter, which was several years ago. But this is the highlighter Reloaded in Set the Tone. They had, I think, they have 6 different ones, I think. The section that I was looking for in this same packaging. I didn't know which one to get because they were all just so beautiful. There was one that was like a peachy tone, one that was more of pink, one that was more of like a bronzing one, but I just went with a classic white tone because those are kind of the highlighters that I like. That's what it looks like. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm so excited. I don't even know if they've changed their formulas. They probably have. I haven't used one of their highlighters in forever. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Whew. Hello, highlight. Okay, so I would definitely say that this is pretty close to the highlighter that I use all the time in the BH Cosmetics palette, the Carly by Belle one. I would say this is definitely pretty close as far as pigment goes, color. Ooh, I love it. And it's way inexpensive. This was $6. They have a ton of other shades that I definitely want to try. This is such a good highlight. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm a sucker for a highlighter. Like, I love a good highlight. So, I definitely recommend that highlighter. We're almost done. So, I'm going to jump back into the eyeshadow palette just to do some under my eyes. So, I'm going to take Sahara again. And then I'm going to go back in with the Affluent color. And then I'm going to finish it with the Fortuity and put that on the outside of my eye. I love it. I love this palette. I'm super pleased with the palette, for sure. So I'm going to do my brows off camera like normal. I'm just using my Salon Perfect Done in One. They didn't have my shade in brows, so I'm just going to do them off camera real quick. Okay, so I just got my brows on. My son just woke up from a nap, so I'm going to see if he'll go back down, but you might hear some crying here and there. So I'm just going to finish this up. We're almost done. I'm going to set my face. So I'm going to be using the Revolution Sport Fix Extra Hold Makeup Fixing Spray. It has an interesting smell. A very interesting smell. And it doesn't necessarily smell good. I mean, it feels good on my face. Hopefully it actually does the trick. So lastly, I'm going to be taking the Revolution Matte Lip Cream in Featured 109, shade 109. That is what it looks like. I think this is the shade that I wanted. I was looking at the testers and I could not find the names on it. And so, ooh, kind of smells good. So we're going to test this out. Hopefully it looks good. So that's the lip color. It's really pretty. I actually really like the lip color. It is the lip color that I was wanting it, so that's a plus. So, all right. This is the finished makeup look. As far as the products, I'd have to say that, so I loved the concealers. I do love the concealers. I don't necessarily love it for under my eyes, but I do love it as far as concealing and priming. Eyeshadow palette is a definite plus. Like, I absolutely love this palette and I can't rave about it enough. Foundation, not my favorite. Definitely gonna have to give that a thumbs down. The primer was good. It definitely felt weird. It was a different consistency that I've never tried before. But I'd give it a thumbs up. Bronzer was definitely a thumbs up. Highlighter was definitely a thumbs up. And I love the lipstick. And the setting spray wasn't bad. It just has a different smell, like an interesting smell to it. But overall, there was mainly one thing that I didn't like out of all of this. So I'm super pleased. I absolutely love the makeup brand, Makeup Revolution. Amazing products, amazing prices. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any requests of videos that you want me to do, I am planning on doing more one brand tutorials. Hopefully my next one brand tutorial, I will actually have everything that I need from that brand. So it'll mainly be drugstore. I did notice that my Ulta now has an Essence section and they are very, very affordable as well. Their prices kind of remind me of like Wet n Wild's prices, but I've never tried Essence before. So I'm gonna have to do that. I'm thinking maybe my next one brand tutorial will either be Milani, Flower Beauty, or Wet n Wild. So we'll go from there. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Again, leave me comments down below of what videos that you'd like to see. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!